I'm here, better late than never. Debo here wanted to walk all over Tarnation this morning. We had a fight. Yes, we did. Because, we're not going that way. We have to get home for the Astro and the Oracle program. And he was trying to make me go a different way, but we did not. He was very Uranian today. And he was a revolutionary himself. Yeah. Okay. Welcome. Hey, Jess. Hi, everyone. Dr. Liven. Oh, Brilliance of Beauty. I like that handle. Hi, Manifester from Toronto. I hope you are having a beautiful day. Yes, I do. Okay. This is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste. That's me. And this is the Astro and the Oracle program where I'm going to talk about the astrology for a little bit. And then I'm going to pull cards for Oracle guidance to help us navigate this week. And it's Black History Month and it's doing it right this last couple of days. And so I'm going to use Abiola Abrams, her African Goddess Rising deck. So what you're going to get is cards for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And so you're going to get these three archetypes where you can do whatever you want. You can pick one and you can pick all three for different things. Like your sun sign, that's like your core identity. Your moon sign speaks to you what you need to feel safe and secure and emotionally grounded. And then your rising sign is like what you're rising up to in this life. It's how other people may perceive you. It has a lot to do. The rising sign is very deep and complex about how you were raised, how people see you when they first get to know you. And we're all charged to rise up to the higher vibration of our rising sign rather than the lower one, which can be sometimes easier to access depending on our whole chart and whatnot. It's a great time to come get a reading. We are on the verge of eclipse season. You think things are crazy now? This is just preparing us with all of this upheaval for what's coming, eclipse season. The lunar eclipse is March 13th, but eclipses start coming in early. And we got a preview last September with the lunar eclipse in Pisces. And now we are going to have, so if some story opened back then, there may be some closure as we move to the opposite. The sun and the moon change places in Virgo. So yeah, it's a good time to come get a reading. We're also going to have the last solar eclipse in the sign of Aries on March 29th, and then March 30th. Mark your calendar. Neptune enters Aries, and then we start to get off to the races. Yes, there's a new start coming. And how are you going to harness this energy? With the North Node conjunct Neptune, Neptune is the ultimate manifester. This is a great time to figure out, what do you want to grow in your own life? Can you believe the dream that you have? You can channel Onija, this Black woman from the Bronx. Her story has captivated the world, where she went over to Pakistan she catfished this 19-year-old. She's 33, and they were going to get married and all of this stuff. Apparently, she put a Neptunian filter on her phone where she looked like Nicki Minaj, and she's not Nicki Minaj. And she got over there, and his family didn't like her, and they just packed up and left. And she has taken Pakistan by storm with her antics, and really channeling this Venus and Aries strong warrior type woman. She's demanding money. She is telling people to clear the way. She's coming. She is not putting up with any mess. If people say something she doesn't want to discuss, she'll tell them it's not their business because it's against her religion to talk about her business and all this mess, and they have been catering to her and treating her so kind. Well, now she's in Dubai, but yeah, supposedly she's coming back to the U.S. soon to do her interviews and whatnot. But she has created. This is like one of the only good things about 2025 is watching this woman who has some mental illness issues, but she's not letting that stop her, and she's taken the world by storm. Yes, she has. Oh, okay. Oh, you're getting good at pool. Okay, good. Yes, really some beauty. Now she is in Dubai, and someone from the Shade Room went over there to go interview her, and she's like, get out of my face or I'm going to stab you with this cigarette. It's like, oh my God. She is wild. Absolutely wild. Yes, and entertaining. Okay. The truth of world news. Oh my God, Anna Marie. This timeline is trash. I'll just tell you, that's the truth. This timeline is absolute trash. But this is what we decided we wanted to incarnate in. And, before I forget, announcement, Astrology Foundations, my class, it's 8 weeks where you learn astrology from the ground up. I don't know what the hell I would do without astrology. I would probably be in my bed, shaking in my boots about what's going on in the world. My little Taurus self who likes stability and predictability and groundedness with all of this upheaval and feeling like, oh my God, what's next? Well, astrology gives us some insight. Not exactly, but insight into what's coming next. And we can, knowing where we're going to have some challenges versus some ease and flow to help us to use our energy in the best directed way and just understand ourselves, understand our reactions, understand the people around us, help our children, it's so beautiful. So you can sign up for my class. You can go to the link in my bio into my website, and it's going to be 8 weeks. It's going to be great. This is a great time to be studying astrology to help understand ourselves, because right now Mars is retrograde. It'll be direct before the class starts, but then Venus goes retrograde and Mercury goes retrograde. Great time to go internal and excavate and understand ourselves better and our motivations. It has been the best tool of my entire life. Okay. So that's the class. Would love to see you join. Everything is live and and interactive. It's not, you don't get just a bunch of videos, although that can be helpful, but not in this class. Okay. So that's Astrology Foundations 101. I did a what do you call it? A webinar about the lunar nodes to help people understand how we're seeing what we're seeing with the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. The work of the collective has changed. This is the axis of well-being. You can go to my link in my bio and go watch the recording for free and see it. I felt just called that people needed to have something to think about. And there's like journal prompts and mantras and things per sign to help you with just giving some insights about what's the work now and what's going on a bit, but more for a spiritual perspective. And then I did readings for some people. And so that's available. And what else would I say? I think those are Saturday, I am going to be doing a talk for Kepler. So all this stuff is in my bio. I'm also going to be in Sacramento on the 23rd. So you can just go look at all of that. If you're local to Oakland, I'm doing an event on Sunday at Sobre Mesa. It is these wonderful Chef Nelson. He's wonderful. It's a Valentine's Day thing. Yeah. So if you're here and you want to do that, it's like going to be a luxury meal, and I'm giving readings. Okay. Let's see. What are we going to talk about? So we already talked about Onija. Okay. So this month we had a new moon in Aquarius that was conjunct the asteroid Icarus, and Icarus flew too close to the sun. His wings melted, and he fell into the sea. Yeah. And then we had, on that day, Uranus was stationing direct. So the energy of the new moon permeates through the whole cycle. So, I mean, Icarus is Elon Musk running around into all our business and doing stuff. And Uranus is the planet of revolutionaries. It liberates, it shocks and awe. It like sees the structures and then decides how it's going to change them permanently in order to make them better. Yeah, and it rules things like earthquakes, and like Greece is having these nonstop earthquakes and things that destabilize us. Last night at 11:45 p.m., my building's fire alarm went off. And so people had to get up out of bed and go out to the street. And at least two people said they had taken a sleeping pill and they were like all loopy. Yeah, so that's like the North Node conjunct Neptune. You could really see there were people who were like having trouble keeping their eyes open. But it was a Uranian event. Like I was just getting ready to go to bed, and then there was this sudden shock, a loud, noisy fire alarm going off, and we all had to go outside. So think about, these are the Uranian events on the surface, the things that, they capture our attention, like what's going on. But there are also Uranian events that are like, when it's the Great Awakener, what came to your awareness? Yeah, like I talk about with my psychic downloads, they're all connected to the astrology. Well, I realized, like, I'm a baby psychic, but my psychic skills, it's not just the astrology, because I got a million downloads about Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl show, and they come in like songs and things like that. They come in songs, they come in little sayings, they come in all kinds of things. And one of the things I got was Pop Goes the Weasel. Now, boo goes the crowd. Pop goes the weasel, boo goes the crowd. And at the Super Bowl, both Jupiter and Gemini, both Taylor Swift and Donald Trump were booed at the Super Bowl. So that was the boo. And then, although it was harder to find the Wizards, I shouldn't even use his name, the Wizards boos, because the like networks kind of pushed them down. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But Pop Goes the Weasel is and what it is, it's like a childhood thing where it's like, I never knew the words, at least I thought I didn't know the words, but it's about a monkey chasing a weasel, and then there's a penny for a da-da-da-da, a penny for a da. And I had said that whatever happens in the Super Bowl would be why the next executive order or whatever comes out. And it was, the penny's gone. And a monkey is a derogatory term for a black man, and then a weasel is a deceitful Wizard of Oz type person. And yeah, and Kendrick Lamar, I know everybody wants to hear my take on this. There are so many fantastic takes on the Super Bowl show. It was a Uranian show that was, it was revolutionary. It was about saying and bringing to people's conscious attention, like some people were like, oh, it's so boring, the people who won't, thinking is against their religion, or learning something that on the surface they don't just immediately understand, or interest. And this is Jupiter and Gemini we saw with some people. So Mercury was in Aquarius and Jupiter was in Gemini. And Mercury and Aquarius people are interested in like knowledge and learning, and like, this is not every single Mercury. I'm just talking about the whole Aquarius has the collective and the whole world, people outside of ourselves is Aquarius. Libra is our one-on-one relationships. And Gemini is the people close to us. It's like our siblings, our neighbors, our local community. A Gemini keeps things on a local level, whereas like with Aquarius, well, Sagittarius is global, but Aquarius is like all of us. The melting pot is very Aquarius. And yeah, so there was like some people were so interested in learning about the subtext and the layers beneath each of the messages, and some people were like, I didn't understand it, it was boring. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And this man, Kendrick Lamar, is a Pulitzer Prize winning poet, essentially, because he's won the Pulitzer Prize for his lyrics because they're very deeply layered. But of course, okay, I want to try to keep it tight, like how like bigger pictures. So you can go online and see all these great, I've watched like 25 of these breakdowns, and people have so many different perspectives. Like I've learned so many new things throughout. So I would recommend doing that. From the Black history and all of that kind of stuff. But I got some of my downloads I wanted to point out. I wrote down Camus meets Tattoo at the Plane. So Camus was a right French philosopher. He wrote The Plague and The Stranger. The Stranger, Camus. So, The Stranger. And here he is, Camus, like this Pulitzer Prize winning poet. And so meets tattoo, it's like the people who tattoo his face on them, you know, the true believers, the know-nothings. At the plane, meaning like Jupiter and Gemini, this flew over people's heads. So, you know, that was one of the things that came in. But the pop goes to weasel. That's not astrology. That is some kind of psychic thing that I've like filed in my... I have Pallas Athena conjunct my North Node, and I must have just filed. It must just be in my subconscious. But Pallas Athena is the asteroid of pattern recognition, and so like I pulled this thing and matched it to this energy and like brought it together. So I learned that about myself. Expression. We had a full moon in Leo. I learned that about something that's like kind of unique to me. It's Uranian. So think about what you've learned about yourself, especially about your personal superpower over the last couple of days, because I see Uranus as like something that's our own, it rules genius and brilliance and your own personal genius. Think about something that you do that's uniquely you and nobody else does it the way you do, whether it's turn a phrase or knot a cherry into a tie a cherry into a whatever, a knot with your tongue or whatever. Or be able to do a write code or do a backflip or whatever. You could think about that. Balance a budget, turn $1 into 15 cents, whatever. I mean, 15 try to whether you can make $1 out of 15 cents. Lots of people can turn $1 into 15 cents. That's nothing special. Okay, let's see. Let me see if there are any more comments before I keep going. I want to talk about Kendrick Lamar's chart. Oh, good. Yes, brilliance of beauty. Do I have workshops on the lunar cycles? You know, I have a class on the lunar cycles, and I need to turn it into, I used to do workshops every month, but I had to stop for a little bit on the new moons and the lunar cycles. I might bring them back, but right now I just have been overwhelmed with all the things I have to do. Yeah, but they may come back. Oh, is Gemini here? Happy new moon. Full moon, Gemini. Yes. Good to see you. Gemini is amazing. Volcaniques would have been the sleeping pill lady. Yeah. all around yes, yes, that's so the U.S. that has a penny. And what I think I saw was, so Mercury was Kazemi on at the Super Bowl, so it was almost like an idea died, because Kazemi's, it's death and rebirth when a planet meets the sun. And it was such an awakening to people. So many people are learning about things that they knew nothing about, like 40 acres and a mule. After the Civil War, the Reconstruction period, America could be a totally different place right now if there wasn't this Mars and Gemini stuff. I mean, Mars and Gemini is Kendrick Lamar's song, Not Like Us, blew up so big because it's so in line with the U.S. chart. The U.S. has Mars in Gemini, square Neptune in Virgo. So Mars in Gemini, fighting siblings, people having different mindsets, the duality. The United States, there's always people arguing whether they're right and left, black or white. Like there's all this duality to us, religious, not religious, in favor of women's rights, not in favor of women's rights, men versus women. I mean, there's so much, like, it's baked in, this division, and it's got this Neptunian, like, belief systems, division between people who should get along, Mars and Gemini, square Neptune. Now, we, at times where there's more of the energy in the Neptunian, we can maybe Neptune dissolves those differences and all get along better, like 9/11. We were attacked and then like came together was kind of what we saw of that thing. But right before the election, Jupiter was conjunct that Mars and stationed on it, amplifying the divisions. And the song Not Like Us was it just really captures that energy that's baked into the United States chart. So we're just rolling on more of the division right now. But Jupiter's moving itself towards. Eventually, it'll get to Neptune, and hopefully by then we will be more on the line of embracing that oneness Neptune can bring rather than the division of the Mars in Gemini. So yeah, but we can be entertained by Mars in Gemini. Yes, we can. So one thing that's really, really interesting is that both Drake, who Kendrick Lamar wrote this song about, and Donald Trump have a 29-degree Leo rising. That is Leo, the sign of the performer, the sign of someone who puts on a big show, the sign of someone who has like big, like, Leo, but Leo needs Virgo energy too, because Virgo energy has like the details of what you need to get done. And Leo energy is like just, we're going to make the most beautiful ball gown we ever saw, or put on the biggest party like the Fry Festival. But without a Virgo around, you wind up in the Fry Festival with no food, people in a nightmare scenario. Yes, and I don't know that we have any Virgo currently in our nation right now, so that's a concern. But anyway, we're not even going to get to that. That's not for today. But anyway, Leo and Virgo together, I call that the seamstress, the someone who thinks of the beautiful, and I just like to use a garment to visualize, like the most highly tailored suit or beautiful gown or whatever, and has the stitching absolutely perfect. That's someone with both of those energies in there. Now, someone with just the Virgo might make like a fully functional gown, but who cares? Nobody wants you wear it to work. Yeah. It's not like something you're wearing at your coming out party. Whereas Leo could make it, oh, it's just so beautiful, but it looks like you got it from Temu or something like that. So that's without one without the other can be. But anyway, they both have this Leo rising. They're both very prideful. Like pride can be a downfall, that absolute pride. And they both are, wait, where's Drake? I'm pretty sure. I want to make sure before I say it. Okay, yeah, they're both the Leo risings, and yeah, and that's it. Drake doesn't have any Gemini in him, does he? No, he doesn't. No, Drake doesn't have any Gemini in him, but they're both Leo risings. They both love to sue people, so I mean, it's just there's a lot of similarities that I see between Drake and the Wizard. So anyway, this performance, like, oh my God, I was like, I knew they had a rap battle, but I was like, what did Drake do that was so terrible that you are dragging him this hard in front of the whole world, bringing his ex-girlfriends out, like telling him face to face, because he's been suing everyone, you know, I've got you. So anyway, I was like, why is Kendrick Lamar so woo? So let's just talk about his chart for a while. And apparently Drake said in one of his songs that Kendrick Lamar's child wasn't his, and that he beats his girlfriend or wife or whatever. So really nasty business. So now that makes sense of why there's so much hatred. And then Kendrick called Drake, you know, a pedo. So anyway, Kendrick has Mars at 17 Cancer. Mars in Cancer. Mars is in detriment in the sign of Cancer. So that's taking action. It's in the sign of its fall, and where it can do things that are extreme, and it's emotional. So this song is like coming from, I mean, the level of viciousness and also a bit of petty, and the attack is I see that as this Mars in Cancer, and that's where Mars is stationing to go direct. So Kendrick Lamar is having this Mars return. Mars is the fighter, and Cancer for home, family, and foundations. And the United States is a Cancer sun, and the whole thing about Uncle Sam, and it's so multi-layered. But this Mars in Cancer really drives him a lot. And he has a Cancer midheaven, and so it's in a Mercury in Cancer. So he is here. Your midheaven is the highest point you can achieve. And he is here to speak emotionally and assertively. Mercury in Cancer, Mars in Cancer, and square Jupiter in Aries. Square Jupiter in Aries. Jupiter rules the truth of how Aries is the self, about how he sees things. And this is what he's here to do, and bring it in an emotional and a persuasive way. That is what he's doing. And he's a Gemini sun, and the Gemini energy is all about communication and bringing the wisdom. I see Gemini as bringing the wisdom from the heavens down to the earth, and educating people. Yeah. And it's aggressive because his sun in Gemini, and that Jupiter in Aries, like the way he says what he has to say, it has a 1-2 punch. And then he's a Libra rising. So again, this is an artist, a sign of, I wrote down, what did I write down about his archetypes based on his chart? This is what I wrote down. Let me see if I can find it. I'm kind of, shoot. Where did I write it? Oh, well. Oh, here it is. An artist, Libra rising, conjunct the fixed star Spica. And the fixed star Spica is one of the most favorable fixed stars in the world, in the heavens. It's at 24 Libra, and his rising is 23 Libra, almost 24. So people have Spica prominently, can have success, wealth, and achievement in any kind of field. They're just naturally gifted. So that's his rising sign. And then Venus rules the sign of Libra, and he has Venus at 8 Gemini. And 7.5 of the mutable signs, Gemini is mutable, are world points. So this shows his ability to be well known and capture attention of others. And it's in his 8th house as Venus. So that is people with, like Taylor Swift has a Moon Jupiter conjunction in Cancer. The moon rules the people. Jupiter expands. It's exalted in Cancer, and she is intensely popular. You can see that in her chart as well. Yeah, this fame signature. So anyway, I wrote down he's an artist and a poet with a fire in the belly. And the fire in the belly, Cancer rules the stomach, and he has Mars in Cancer. So you see all of this stuff in his natal chart. And he's got Saturn and Uranus in Sagittarius. So his Saturn in Sagittarius, Saturn is our karma. It has to do with our work, and it's Sagittarius. He's a philosopher. Yeah. And when he comes, he sees his opponents. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. He's a Libra rising, and he's got Jupiter and Aries on his descendant. Aries is a sign of conflict. Jupiter makes everything bigger. And also it's like he sees his opponents as heavily armed. And when he goes into battle, he brings every weapon he's got. Like there's a movie where they take their knife and their gun and their samurai sword and this, that, the other thing. That's how he layers himself up before he goes into these battles. But the battles are with words, and the battle is against Drake and the system at large. So we saw Uncle Sam there, and that was all of that. Anyway, I'm just going off on tangents, so I'll leave it at that unless somebody said something. Oh, this world was mine. Luther Vandross, if this world was mine. That was beautiful when SZA saying, if this world was mine. Yes. Yes, Anna. So many messages and so layered. It was incredible. Yes. I mean, 40 acres and a mule, bringing that to people's attention. Did I finish the story? After Reconstruction, slaves were promised 40 acres and a mule, and then the country reneged on the deal. So that's what 40 acres and a mule is about. So you can Google it to learn more. It's a very important history. And this woman, I saw one of the videos, she was talking about how with the Homestead Act, lots of white people were given the opportunity to go west because the country wanted to populate, and given, it was more than 40 acres. It was a bunch of acres. I think it was 60 acres to homestead. And that was led to generational wealth that was stolen from Black people. So yeah, with the 40 acres and the mule reneging. So that was one of the things he talked about. Ooh. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Oh, yes, all around the mulberry bush. Well, there's also one that's all around the cobbler's bench. Yeah, I had no averse. Yes, no, Canada's not a colonizer. Oh, you're glad you married Leo's glad they married a Virgo. Oh, Drake had a baby with a porn star. Ooh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know all the details about all of the back. Oh, thank you. My friend Joni gave this to me for Christmas. I love it. My hoodie. Yes. Hey, Grace. Oh, we're talking about Kendrick Lamar now. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar's chart. Yes. And I started talking about how the United States, that Neptune in the ninth house. Oh, you get 40 acres and a mule. Oops, sorry. No, you don't. And it was because of the Confederacy, those, Jim Crow and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know anything about Drake, all of this backstory about Drake. But I wonder if Kendrick is writing another album that's coming soon, because Jupiter and Gemini, he's got all this Gemini energy that something else is going to drop soon, because Saturn is on his moon and his moon rules his midheaven. So this to me gives the image of him working really, really hard to bring some creative vision. He's got a moon in Pisces. That's why he's a poet. So he's a Gemini sun, a Pisces moon, and a Libra rising. Oh my God. Yes. Air and water. A poet, a philosopher, deeply feeling, uses words to express it. Yeah. Yeah. And he's totally sober, apparently. So there's a song he does about how experiencing grief sober. Yeah. He's interesting. He's a really, really interesting person. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful to get some idea about him. Oh, and the beef with Drake. They have known each other in previous lives, as far as I'm concerned, because Drake's South Node is at 20 Libra, conjunct Kendrick's ascendant. So to me, it's like they have got some beef, like they were adversaries in a war with Kendrick's Jupiter and Aries opposite that South Node conjunct South Node, because the South Node's karmic, conjunct his ascendant. And yeah, they were former opponents in a war in a past life, and now the war is a war of words. And Drake has a Scorpio stellium, so he's hot under the collar about all of this stuff. It probably keeps him up at night. But he did, at his last concert, last night, he wore a sweatshirt with bullet holes in it and smoke coming out the back, acknowledging that on a world stage in front of billions of people, he was lyrically assassinated on the day of the Super Bowl. Mercury in Aquarius was square Uranus he was approaching a square to Uranus in Taurus. So Mercury communicates, Uranus assassinates, and yeah, the lyrical assassination. I loved it. Okay. And what else? And he brought in all that astrology. I don't know if people saw, I wrote, I hope we don't have a power outage, or that some people may have problems. He brought all the astrology of Mercury Cazimi and Mercury in the Sun square Uranus into the song. He said, turn the TV off, turn the TV off. Yeah, that was one of the lines. So that was how I was seeing that power outage. Yeah, everything in the energy he brought into the song. Uranus, sudden breaks. Uranus, the revolutionary. Uranus, enlightenment. Giving people the information. Mercury, Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury, the whole world. Apparently, the only more popular thing than his halftime show, was some people thought was boring, was the moon landing. It's been watched so many times in a couple of days. Yes, yes. Okay. Well, that's good. I think that's enough of that. Okay. Let's do the cards. Oh my God. How long have I been talking? Abiola Abrams, African Goddess Rising. What were some of the other things he said that were really important? This is a Hay House deck. A beautiful, beautiful deck. So you're going to get an African goddess like Onaja, who's now... I hope this lady makes it home safely. She's just telling people this, that, and what for. Now she's in Dubai. She keeps talking about she wants $20,000. So she's Uranus in the flesh. Uranus and Taurus. Taurus rules resources. And she's telling people, shocking people with her financial demands for... Yeah, she says, I'm not talking if you don't give me, one day it's 2,000, next day it's 5,000, and on and on and on. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I hope you had to see that performance. It was incredible. In the Super Bowl, the underdog won, and my friend Tiffany pointed it out. Tiffany Herlick, she's a great astrologer. Yeah, Mars retrograde at the Super Bowl suggested the underdog was going to win, and Uranus in the top of the chart in the 10th house suggested that as well. Yeah. Squid Game. Yeah, and he had that Squid Game imagery. Yes. Yeah, it was set up like a tic-tac-toe board. And I've been saying tic-tac-toe for a while. That's interesting. And that's what Nancy Pelosi has said that got a lot of attention. Yeah, it was set up like a video game, all for entertainment. But then there was the message beneath it. It was like, oh, it's so deep. So much. Yeah. And he's definitely psychic. Yeah. Yeah. He sees dead people. And then at one point, like, all the people fell to the ground like they were... murdered. And he had the American flag cut in half. That was the Mars square Neptune, the image from the U.S. chart. Yeah, it's all there. Okay. Maybe I'll do a video about that, the astrology of the performance. We'll see. Probably not, because I have too much to do. Okay, Aries. Let's just be realistic. Ooh, Aries. Oh my God. You got Queen Nefertiti, Alchemy. Okay, the next solar eclipse. It's the last one of this cycle in Aries. With, the last couple of years. This is the third Aries eclipse. The first one was at 29 degrees Aries. That was back in 2023, April. Then there was 19 Aries conjunct Chiron. This got us where we are now. I should do another talk about that one. Oh my God. Because 19 degree Aries, the sun is exalted in Aries, and 19 degrees is the actual degree of the sun's exaltation. And conjunct Chiron, and U.S. has Chiron in the 4th house of the rebel. And there we are with... someone trying to see if they can take down our system of government and remodel it in their image right now. And yeah, but anyway, now we have, it's going to be at 9 Aries. I'm pretty sure it's 9 Aries. You can look at my guide to make sure it's either 9 or 10 Aries. Anyway, it's 9, I'm pretty sure. But this is Alchemy. So, okay, Aries, you've got all this energy. Solar eclipses are new starts. They open new doors. You walk through them and turn around and there's a wall. What have you been doing with all of this energy propelling you forward? You got one more opening for the next 5 months where ooh, there's like energetic lift to you. Not as much as there was the last 2 years because the North Node has changed signs, but how are you going to turn lead into gold in your own life? Think about that. Creative solutions. What is this Uranian full moon brought to your attention about yourself? I mean, and Nefertiti was bad. So how are you going, whether you're a sun, moon, or rising, how are you going to harness this beautiful energy of Nefertiti despite chaos and situations around yourself? Like if you have worked for the government, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, how are you pivoting, changing your life, finding a new path if needed, to support yourself? Nefertiti was a legendary Egyptian queen whose name means a beauty has come. Celebrated as a goddess and her husband's equal, she led a spiritual revolution and worshiping Aten, the sun god, and Aries. Your sun is in the sign of its exaltation. How are you using this energy that kind of lifts you up, gives you a special seat at the table? Yeah, it is time. This is her guidance. It is time. You turn everything that life throws your way into gold. You are on the path to fulfilling your purpose. If you don't see it, channel Onija as well and just be delusional and believe in yourself that you can clear the way. You can net $2,000, $5,000, $20,000, $100,000 to rebuild the city of whatever. Yes. And the declaration is everything I touch turns to gold. And the embodiment is you are an alchemist. You have the power to bend universal energy. Dare to transmute lead into gold by shifting from fear to love. Everything you desire exists in some form of loving energy. Match this frequency. Match energy. Match it with love and fierceness. Absolutely. See in your mind's eye first. Imagine it. I am loved fully. What does it look, taste, and smell like to be loved unconditionally? I am happy and healthy. See it. I am a money magnet. What does it feel like? Okay, Aries, you can do it. I think we all need to channel that alchemist energy with the North Node conjunct Neptune. Neptune is the ultimate manifester. You have to believe it before you can make it happen. I feel like I'm a preacher at church. I believe this. I have an Aries moon. It's my helmsman. It's my chart ruler. I'm a pioneer. Absolutely. I walked away from my corporate career to become an astrologer. Yeah, I believed it. I allowed myself to be delusional and believe that I could recreate my whole life at 51 and support myself and all this mess. And so far, so good. Sometimes being delusional is not a negative, but I'm not recommending it for everyone. Okay. Oh, no. And then Taurus. Allah, grief. Okay, Taurus. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. Some things may be coming to your conscious attention. Well, grief. Lots of Tauruses are in a state of panic because we like security and we like knowing things are grounded. And we certainly don't like someone messing with our money like this muskrat is doing in our Social Security, and what is he doing in the Treasury Department? Is this making the United States vulnerable financially to hacking and all this kind of stuff? So I'm sure any Taurus who's paying attention to what's going on has some concerns underneath the surface about all this craziness about Canada and Greenland and Gaza and yeah. So just understanding most of this won't happen. Mars is retrograde. This is a lot of big talk, but a whole lot of nonsense. We saw in the Oval Office last night, just unbelievable. Leon in a baseball cap with his kid on his shoulders, patting his head, like pulling him all over the place, and then picking his nose and rubbing it on the Resolute desk. I mean, it was astonishing to see, but believe we're going to be all right, but recognize how this is impacting you. Yeah. Or whatever else is going on is impacting you. If your job, if you lost money because of a grant being upheaval or whatever. So this is, give spirit your grief, bawl it out, wail it out, cry it out, sob, shriek, shed tears, surrender it. So acknowledge whatever is going on in your life. It may be like you wanted to get engaged this whatever Valentine's Day, and they don't ask. Consider yourself lucky, because this energy is a mess. Really, you're holding on to unprocessed grief. You want to skip over it and get back to normal, but grief doesn't go away because you ignore it. Yeah, and Uranus being in Taurus and it being activated by the square at the full moon, there's probably something coming up to your conscious attention that has a little bit of a tinge of loss associated with it. No matter what, yeah. Or if your relatives or someone you know is being hunted by ICE or what have you. There's all of this. Yeah. Yes, you can, Sacred. Yes, you can. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The kid told him, you're not president. Get out of that chair, supposedly. Get out of that chair. You're not, I mean, and he's just sitting there. He's supposedly the president. So he's got the 1-2 this week. Kendrick Lamar took him to school, told him right in his face, this is a revolution. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. Yes, he did. And then Muskrat is standing there talking about how he's going to make mistakes like it's no big deal. And I won't make mistakes. I mean, it's absolute insanity. Absolute insanity is what we're experiencing. And this is the North Node conjunct Neptune. Ooh, Gemini, you got Jaji manifestation. Oh my God, look at this. Jupiter is in your sign. Do not waste this energy. What you lean into will expand and will grow. Are you leaning into writing something, speaking your truth, making the plans in order to expand yourself? Or are you leaning into anxiety, scatteredness, trying to find out every little piece of news so that you can know what's happening, or Don't waste your time. A lot of this craziness, I feel like it's going to go poof, but I hope I'm right. Yeah, I hope I'm right. Some of this is just going to go poof by March 30th. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm taking over Canada. I'm giving you tariffs. And then they're like, okay, here are tariffs back. Oh, no, we're not doing that. A lot of it is that poor King of Jordan having to sit there and try to be bullied into taking 1 million Palestinian people. And he's like, no. But you're going to take the 2006 kids. Like, this is unbelievable what's going on. Yeah, okay. But we're not going to talk about that. Okay. Majaji is a hereditary queen of South Africa's people, the Balobadu people, a matrilineal queendom. Her daughters dance to the frequency of rain. Showers of blessings are yours. You are a rainmaker, a master manifester, shapeshifter, alchemist, and sorceress. Open your heart and hands. Gemini is the shapeshifter. And Kendrick Lamar, tell me he did not. He made it rain. Yes, he did. He brought bell bottoms back. People are buying up bell bottoms or pulling them out of their closet. I loved his, I loved his jeans. Yeah, he has set a trend. Worldwide influence. Nobody's dyeing their skin orange. Okay. Culture. You can't buy it. You can't manufacture it. You can't mandate it. People like, especially the kids, determine culture. They like what they like. Okay. Cancer. Sun, moon, or rising. Yamaya. Awakening. Absolutely, Cancer. Ooh, Cancer's a sign of the mother, and look at that, awakening. So how are you using this? Uranus is in Taurus and a sextile to your Cancer planets. Sextiles are energies of ease and flow. What are you awakening to? Wake up, awaken now to your true self. Awaken now, get ready, because Jupiter, every 12 years, Jupiter goes through each sign, and it's the planet, it's the greater benefic. It's a planet of expansion and abundance, and it brings good things typically. Now, it can just bring more. It depends on your chart. Like, if you could have I got Jupiter, that was so terrible. I've never seen one. I mean, some good's coming with Jupiter's going into Cancer on June 8th. And so get ready. What do you want to birth, Cancer? Cancer is the sign of the mother. It's the sign of, it's a water sign. It likes to grow things. What are you going to grow? Get your garden ready for June. This is what these retrogrades offer you, the opportunity to go, inside, go within, like review, revisit, revise, revitalize, rethink, recreate all this stuff, so that you're ready for when Jupiter comes into your sign and gives you, and it's going to come in, but it's going to be in a square with Saturn and Neptune. So you need to have grounded structures to make the dream come true. So you got to till the land so that that fire doesn't scorch it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Bell bottoms were anti-imperialistic views. A way to communicate. Yes. Like the Liberty Bell. Yeah. They look like the Liberty Bell, at the bottom. Now, they're also connected to the Vietnam War resistance, even though they were created for the Navy, I think, or the Army. Yeah, I saw one of these, like, they're people creating content about every single aspect of this. You can just search for it. It's fascinating. I've put a little bit up, but not really. Yes, all of the energy. Yes. So the sun's in Leo. The sun's in Aquarius. The moon's in Leo. They both square Uranus and Taurus. These are the fixed signs. And this is a T-square where there's a planet at the apex. And then it makes a square. It makes a triangle. But it's square one on one side, square one on the other side that are opposite each other. And there's an empty space that it shoots, the energy shoots out into. And so it shoots out into Scorpio. And we're seeing all of these power struggles. And like we're becoming aware, especially in Pisces season, we're becoming to become aware of more and more and more of what's going on underneath the surface and done in secret. Scorpio energy is intense, confrontational. Drake is a Scorpio. Kaboom. Like that. Yeah, that is, yes. It's so literal astrology. Yes. Yeah, that energy shot out into his Scorpio placements. Yes. And your goddess declaration is, I'm receiving and radiating love. Yes, so that's you, Cancer. Leo, this is your full moon. We know Leo's the creator, the performer, the golden child, the protector, the manager. Like, Leos make great leaders. The brave heart, the oh, you know what? Well, okay. So Aunt Nancy, this is so interesting. Okay, I pulled the betrayal card. So how do you betray your Leo energy? How do you keep yourself small at times when you were supposed to shine? Or, like, get into the shadow of Leo rather than the high road of being maybe too prideful or arrogant or what have you. Yeah. Ooh, Aunt Nancy. And I really was, this is a trickster god, and that's about the leader who's a Leo rising betraying. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is a great time for you, since it's your full moon and it's in your first house. So the full moon's in your first house, Leo. The sun is in your 7th house, the other. Both square Uranus. Uranus breaks things, and once it's broken, it's really hard to put the pieces back. So you can think about who betrayed you. Betrayals from others mirror your betrayal of yourself. Betrayal is a web that disrupts everything you thought you knew. Use discernment in your relationships. It makes it difficult to trust, but without trust, your relationships are a lie. Trust that no matter what happens and no matter how long it takes, you will survive and thrive. The real question, have you betrayed or abandoned yourself? Ooh, this is the perfect question for Leos at this full moon. Yeah, Akon was a trickster god and sacred clown, snuck into our global folk tales. Well, Gula Gigi children heard tales of Aunt Nancy, the tricky spider woman. My Guyanese parents entertained us with Nancy's stories about a witty teen spider. That's really interesting. Let's see if something happens with a famous Nancy who's acting like a clown and gets, it's one of my predictions. Okay, anyway. Okay, Virgo. Medusa, rage. Okay, Virgo is the virgin, the sacred, that single lady energy, it can be, the single cat lady energy. And Medusa energy can be very intense and fierce. Yes. Medusa is feared as an ugly, vicious monster bitch. The truth, this Libyan Berber dark goddess of wisdom's rage is sacred, epic, and fully justified. So Virgo, the South Node is in your sign. It's bringing all this stuff up. So whatever house in your chart, everyone Virgo's in, all kinds of stuff is coming up for you. You are pissed off and petrified, angry and shaking, but underneath you're hurt and heartbroken. Feeling undervalued is overwhelming. You can't stay silent. Let your joys, hopes, and beauty rage on. And the declaration is, I have a right to feel my feelings. So you may be really feeling a lot of stuff coming up that you thought was dealt with. Like if you have Virgo in the 4th house, you could have all family stuff coming up to your conscious attention to deal with. In the 3rd house, it could be about siblings or early childhood. In the 2nd house, self-esteem, money issues. The 1st house about you, your identity, the world perceives you. This need to constantly be perfect is like probably like causing you, like you can't do it anymore, Virgo. If you're a Virgo rising especially, but maybe even a Virgo sun or moon, this constant need for order or perfection, or like having things be exactly the way you want them to be, like you got to let it go of it. It's just it's crumbling. Now it can show up as an illness if you're not careful, because Virgos can especially be like overworkers. So really take care of yourself and honor the inner rage within, and understand the timing of this next 18 months, this next year and a half. A lot of stuff is going to be coming out that needs to come to your conscious attention. And if you just push it down and ignore it, it's not going to end well. So you got to recognize it and deal with it. And yeah, you ready for it? Okay. Celestial alignment. Nagozana. Look at that. Beautiful. Perfect for Libra. Oh my God. Perfect for Libra. Yes. 41. She's a healer of healer and a teacher of teachers whose love for humanity makes the corn grow. She dwells in foamy waters, but is known as the heavenly princess. As above, so below is celestial alignment. Your natural path is to be in alignment with your own divinity. No one can take from you what they didn't give you. Remember that. No one can take from you what they didn't give you. And like if you in relationships, this is a message about reciprocity. How do you want to feel? You also often think about what you want, but goddess energy speaks to us in feelings. This is about being in sync with your energetic feelings. So get out of your head, Libra, and into your heart. And what's going on? What are you feeling? Are your relationships reciprocal? Are you giving and receiving? Oh, you're welcome, Sanford. If you gotta laugh or you cry. African goddess rising. Yes, it's a deck. Yes, it's Abiola Abrams, and I'll put it in the caption. Oh, good. You're moving out of your imperfection. I love that. Yes. Let me see. Am I missing anything? Okay. Be teachable. Absolutely. Oh, I'm so behind in these comments. Sorry. Let me see. Let me get. Okay. Going with the flow. Yes, Martha. A Virgo rising. Yes. That's wonderful. Okay. Ooh, Scorpio. Sukkayant, scarcity. So Scorpios may really be feeling this Uranian energy. This full moon empties out into your sign. So what's going on? Yeah, it depends where you have Scorpio in your chart to how it's impacting you. But the axis, the Leo Aquarius axis of self-expression versus the art audience, is really in focus. So you can think about that. Your creativity. Let's see. 21. Scarcity. Beauty by day, hag by night. The Sukkayant is an energy vampire, also known through the diaspora as Olehigu or Buhag. Whether energy or blood for vampires, there's never enough to go around. Ooh. You have so much more than you realize. You have access to unlimited joy, good times, pleasures, and prosperity. Be grateful for your riches. So if you're focused, Scorpio, on what you don't have, and Scorpio is a sign of acquisition, like bankers make good Scorpios make good bankers, like wanting more, wanting to conquer, desiring the power. And this is just a reminder, to when the sun goes down, when you get into your feelings, not focus on what you don't have. My blessings always overflow is the statement. Yeah, embodiment. Stop going to the ocean and asking for a thimbleful of water. It doesn't feel like it when you're desperate, but scarcity and lack is an illusion. Prosperity is believing that there is an overflow, more than enough love, happiness, well-being, and money to go around. Vampires take from others because they don't have enough life force for themselves. This is scarcity consciousness. When you embody lack, you are always hungry, tired, and jealous. Wow. That's deep. That's deep, because jealous is a Scorpio thing. Well, and Taurus. That axis of resources. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, good, sacred love oasis. You needed to hear that as a Scorpio rising. Yes, yes. You know what? When that fire alarm went off and we were standing outside in the middle of the night, I was so thankful that it was not a real problem. It was like something somebody did set off the alarm accidentally. I was like, thank you. I have a house to go back into, because all I had was my clothes on my back and my, dog and my phone outside in the middle of the night. Yeah, but especially with what's, but there's a house to go back to, a bed to go back to. Okay, Sagittarius, T-Tuba, feeling safe. Feeling safe, Sagittarius. This is an interesting card for Sagittarius. A fire sign that, likes excitement and whatnot. She was an enslaved Caribbean woman who was the first person accused in the 1692 Salem witch trials. She was most likely kidnapped from the Guyana region of South America and then sold through a Barbados plantation. Her guidance: it is finally safe to be you. You have wandered through a dark night. Your trip has been long. There is light ahead. Your liberation is apparent. Ooh, do you feel like you've always been on the run? I am safe. It is safe to be safe. So, are you having concerns, Sagittarius, about your safety and security? Maybe this is the Saturn square. You're feeling under pressure. Saturn's in Pisces squaring your Sagittarius placements, and Jupiter is opposing. So, this is a reminder that opposite you, like, you've got protection energy available. Jupiter protects. It's the largest planet. It protects the Earth from space junk, even though they say an asteroid's coming to get us. This morning I was like, oh, well, you said it right here. So take me out quickly. This long. I was just kidding. Anyway, you deserve to feel secure. Feeling safe is knowing that your basic needs are met. Feeling at home in your body. Feeling safe is trusting your journey. If you grew up emotionally, spiritually, or physically unsafe, reset your default expectations for healthier vibration. Okay, so the nodes, the eclipses in Virgo and Pisces square your Sagittarius placements. So, and then release them into Gemini. So, what intellectually do you know? And Virgo has to do with just our basics, resources. Pisces is a water sign. Yeah. Our emotions, that's great for what Sagittarius are going through. Okay. Oh my God, I'm talking so long. Sorry. Capricorn, long booby Susie, shame. Long booby Susie. Look, Susie has long boobies. Okay, shame, Capricorn. This is interesting for Capricorn. Shame. She keeps the children of Belize terrified. Viewed as a shadow monster, she has the power to kill or to turn with her long, scary breasts that contain milk and poison. This beautiful Afro-Indigenous spirit may be a distortion of the Arawak Tainu moon goddess Adabi. So you are beautiful and loved. Every part of you is your journey is beautiful, even the ugliest moments. You have a heart, soul, and breath that makes you beautiful. Maybe some awakenings are coming up of what you've been through with Pluto going through Capricorn. It's over now, but that may have brought up a lot about shame or something with you. You are secretly scared that you're not enough. Shame is lying to you. You are not broken, unlovable, ugly, or unworthy. Shame keeps you small and hiding. Accept yourself now. You are a bright light. Okay, Capricorns can sometimes be really into comparisonitis, like trying to keep up with the Joneses, with the status symbols or whatever, or achieving because they want to be seen as whatever. So that's just a message to do some thinking about. Meditate on shame. And remember, you are loved and you are fine just the way you are. Aquarius, Asaheya. Joy. Look at that. Joy. The sun is in your sign. Are you feeling joyful? This is like hopefully this Uranus energy is helping you like unleash more of yourself, your creativity, your genius. She rules life and death as a joyful crone celebrated as Mama Earth. Her energy is loving and fertile and nurturing, and her name is invoked at a major life transitions. Your happiness matters. Joy is sacred. Your laughter waters the earth. So Pluto's in your sign, so watch out if you're starting to feel like, oh my God, this could happen, that could happen, thinking too much about the future. Try to remain present and remain joyful in what you have now. I feel like me when I am happy. I love that for you. And Jupiter in Gemini is in a trine, so happiness is available. Wow. Mao Lisa for Pisces, cosmic power. Look at this. This is the eclipses. Yes. So Pisces coming in. It's not till September where it's not till next year where there's a solar eclipse in Pisces, but we had a lunar eclipse in Pisces. The lunar eclipse in Virgo's coming March 13th, where the sun is in your sign, the moon. So you walk through a door, you turn around, and there's a wall. What doors do you want to walk through? How do you want to use this energy to propel you forward? It's karmic. It's a force of mother, father, God, goddess, the moon, the divine feminine. Lisa is the sun, the divine masculine. They come together during a full moon eclipse to create cosmic power. The last eclipse, full moon eclipse, was a Pisces. Next is a Virgo. They're on the axis. Yes, you are in the right place. Release the fear of your power. The North Node is in your sign. Neptune's in your sign. Saturn's bringing the grounded clarity. Yes, you are magic. Now that you know this, you can no longer pretend not to. Rise up into your magnificence. Love and accept yourself fully to unlock everything you seek. Kendrick Lamar is a Pisces moon. Look at that bravery and that, oh my God. Stop pretending to be less than you are. Your real power has nothing to do with external gains. Cosmic power cannot be destroyed or lost. You were created by the same forces that birthed the sun and the moon. My power shines forth from within. So don't allow yourself to feel powerless. The North Node is in your sign right now. Ooh, this is your time to shine. Okay, I hope that helps. Yes, yes. I'm going to put this on YouTube with, what do you call those things? Chapters. So you can, if you want, you can go to my Astrology by Celeste YouTube page and subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Yes, yes. I'm planning to do more on YouTube. But that's coming. Okay, take good care of yourself. Sorry this was so long, but I hope it was helpful. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I'll be back on Friday with a cosmic conversation.